I'm gonna get yelled at. I am going to get yelled at for hissing this stupid leaf. Hi. So, welcome. How are you? Hope you're doing well. Happy Pride Month. If this is supposed to be posted in Pride Month, so happy Pride Month. If it's not posted in Pride Month, I was late. So, I thought this would be a really fun idea because you know how in Valentine's Day people read romance books, and Christmas people read Christmas books, October people read Halloween books, summer reads, winter read, whatever. You know, it's a thing. So I thought, wouldn't it be a fun and dandy idea if I read sapphic books throughout the month of June? I just thought this would be perfect because June is Pride Month. A lot of these romances are also like kind of summery. I love sapphic books. Like, if it is sapphic, I don't need to know anything else. If the cover is cute and it's sapphic, I will read it at some point. So I thought, why not? Why not do it this month and just have fun with it, make a little video about it, and maybe you can use this as a recommendation if you are in the mood for some sapphic reads, which I wanted to let you guys know. For the longest time, I didn't know what sapphic meant. I thought it was a terminology for if it's like Greek goddess and gods and stuff, or like something like that. I thought it was very much like sapphic sounded like Celtic, so I just assumed they were similar kind of thing. And then one day I googled it and I realized that sapphic actually means a woman loving woman relationship. So gay girls, yeah. So just wanted to throw that out there because I didn't know what sapphic meant, and I just wanted to let you guys know in case you didn't, because I was lost. But for the month of June, for Pride Month, for Rainbow Month, whatever you want to call it, we will be reading 4 sapphic books. This isn't going to be in the order that I'm going to read them. This is just in the order that I chose them. But that doesn't really matter too much because all of them will be listened to by the end of June. The first book that I found though will be She Drives Me Crazy by Kelly Quindlen. By the way, I'm not going too much into these because I already gave like an entire synopsis of them in my June TBR video, which hopefully you have watched by now. If not, please go watch it, that'd be very kind. But I'm very excited for this one because I love sports romances, I love sapphic books, and I love fake dating, and guess what She Drives Me Crazy has? All 3. Oh yeah, this is gonna be fun. So I'm very excited for this one. Basically, long story short, our main girl, Scotty, wants to get back at her toxic ex, so she fake dates the head cheerleader mean girl Irene after they got into a fender bender and they have to drive each other to school because one of their cars is in the shop. So long story short, that's what it's about. The second book that I picked for this month is I Kissed Shara Wheeler. I'm not sure which one it is, but I Kissed Shara Wheeler by Casey McQuinston. Currently, I'm in a mystery thriller mood, so even though this book never really interested me because the cover seems rom-com-y and then the actual plot seems very mystery thriller, I'm hoping that my mystery thriller current mood kind of fuels me into enjoying this book and getting through the first part, because I feel like once I get through the first 20%, I'll like it. I just need to like get into it. So this was never really one that I wanted to read, but I've seen it a lot and it is sapphic, and why not, you know? So a summary of the synopsis would be Chloe, the main girl, moved to a Christian school in Alabama, and her dream is to be valedictorian, but there's this one girl, Shara Wheeler, who is in the way, shall we say. A month before graduation, Sarah kisses her and then disappears. So Chloe's like, okay, I gotta find out what happens. And she finds out Sarah also kissed 3 other girls and they were all left cryptic messages. So they'll have to figure out what happened to her and find her. And that is what the book is about. I have absolutely no clue if there's actual romance in this, but I think that's okay because, you know, it still seems like there will be a lot of like LGBT talk and everything about this, and it also does seem like it might touch on religious trauma because it says, quote for quote, it says, her mom's moved her from Southern California to Alabama for high school. She's now in the puritanical administration of Willow Grove Christian Academy. So I don't think that this is going to be a romance. If there is, it's definitely a subplot, but I do think that this will definitely be relevant to that. And I think it'll just be interesting to read. So hopefully this goes well. Definitely is more on the darker side, but I have 3 fluffy sapphic romances, so it should be fine. The next book is Count Your Lucky Stars by Alexandria Bellefeur. I'm not French, but Bellefeur. It sounds like it should be French, but I don't speak French anymore, so whatever. I judged this one off the cover. It looked cute, and I said, you. It's childhood friends and first love, and they meet again later in life. The one doesn't do relationships, the one is divorced. Divorced one needs a place to stay, so she goes to live with her, and then like sparks are still flying. It sounds really cute and fluffy. She's also a wedding coordinator, and that's like a weird, like, not trope, but I really like when the story involves a wedding coordinator of some kind. I feel like they're really fun. And plus, wedding coordinators and planners are such interesting jobs, and they have so many like little tidbits and secrets. I just love learning about it. So excited for this one. I think it's gonna be cute and fluffy, maybe like the tiniest bit angsty. And I'm pretty sure this is an adult romance. So 3 YA, 2 YA romances, 1 YA mystery thriller, 1 adult romance. I feel like this is a really good mix. And then the last book that I picked to read will be Hani and Ishu's Guide to Fake Dating by Adiba Jaigirdar. I am trying. I don't know how to say these names, but I'm trying, so don't get mad at me. This is another one. I saw the cover, I added it to my library list, and never looked at it again. So when I was scrolling through trying to find sapphic books, I saw that one. I was like, yes, you. So that is where we are. It does look cute though. It looks fluffy, looks fun. I'm excited to listen to it. Essentially what this is about is Hani, the main girl, comes out as bisexual, and her friends tell her, no, you're not, because you've dated men, which, not cool. Let's just agree on that. But they tell her she can't be bi because she's only ever dated guys, and she feels the need to prove to them, so she fake dates this girl on the consensus that she helps Ishu, the other girl, get popularity. And then her friends get mad at her for spending time with her girlfriend, so they try and sabotage her chance of being head girl. So main girl Hani has to choose if she is going to break up with Ishu for her friends, or if she's gonna tell her like, hey, I want this fake relationship to be a real relationship. To be perfectly honest, this book sounds very 14-year-old childish drama, but in the best possible way. Like, I'm very excited to just be reading about these teenagers. Very stupid drama, to be honest. But it's not stupid, but just in the grand scheme of things, it's not the end of the world. So I'm excited for it. The order I think I'm going to be reading this in is I Kissed a Girl. Not I Kissed a Girl. This isn't Katy Perry. I Kissed Shara Wheeler. She Drives Me Crazy. Count Your Lucky Stars. Hani and Ishu's Fake Guide to Dating. I have an audiobook to finish first, but I'm gonna try really hard to finish these in less than 3 days. 3 days is the max, so I can really get through these, stay in the mood, not drag them out. I've been dragging my books out a lot lately, which has not been fun because it just ends up stressing me out. But I am excited, and I will see you when I'm reading one of them. I'm going to try and be a bit more up to date with keeping up with you guys and not just do a start and a finish update. Try to, can't promise anything, but I'm excited and I think this is gonna be fun. So I will see you in June. I started I Kissed Shara Wheeler 2 days ago, and I'm about halfway now, and there's going to be spoilers, so I'll mark off where to skip to if you don't want to watch the spoiler. But the note that she left her in the book that Chloe is taking as a confession of her love, I don't think that's it. I have a feeling that Shara is doing all this to get Chloe off her grind so that she can win valedictorian. I think this is all some massive plan to sabotage Chloe, and I definitely think I'm right because I just got to a part where she forgot to write an essay and it's due that day, so she has to skip a class so she can go write it. So I have a feeling that I'm very correct. But yeah, obviously I don't know, we'll see. In terms of the actual mystery and Shara being missing, I don't actually really care about that, but I am still really enjoying the story. I'll touch more on it when I finish, but I think it's a very beautifully written story about teenagers finding themselves and what it's like being a queer teenager, especially in places where it is not accepted. So I'm still really enjoying it, and I do think it's wonderfully written, and so far I would definitely recommend it, but I will check back in once I finish it. Today is Friday, so I don't anticipate I'll finish it this week, but maybe next week. So we'll see. I am in my reading chair today in my room. I did not feel like sitting on the floor, so welcome to a new space. I don't know if this will be a new regular space, but I might sit here more often because this is definitely a bit more comfortable. But you're not here to talk about where I'm sitting. So I have officially finished I Kissed Shara Wheeler. Didn't realize it was Shara, I just thought it was Sarah or Sarah spelled weird. I've known like 7 Sarah/Saras in my life, and I think almost every single one of them have spelt it differently. So that's my bad, but it's Shara Wheeler. I finished it last week, Friday. I finished it Friday, today is Monday. I did end up enjoying this book quite a bit. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, which is pretty good. So as you guys know, I originally went into this thinking it'd be a mystery thriller kind of book, and I went into it in a mystery thriller mood, hoping that it would fuel my want to read this, because it wasn't really a book I wanted to pick up. It was not a thriller. It was a mystery. There definitely was a mystery in finding Shara, but it was not a mystery thriller. So my plan kind of failed in that sense. And the best part about that failure is that I didn't even care about the mystery. I enjoyed the book throughout the entirety of it, but I didn't care about the mystery of finding Shara Wheeler. I was more invested in the characters and learning about them and seeing how they're going to work through their struggles in this book. One thing I loved was that all of the characters are incredibly diverse and unique, and I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed watching them cope with being queer in a community that is not accepting of queer people. I think the topic was handled very well, and I'm too tired to be doing this. Ugh. I personally don't think that the topic was handled insensitively by any means. I thought it was handled very well and realistically as well. I enjoyed the diversity of the queer people. Like, it wasn't just lesbians as I originally thought it would be. It was non-binary people, gay men, lesbians. I don't know if there were any bisexual people. There probably was. I'm hoping there was, but point is, there was diversity in the actual queer community, which I really loved, and watching them just learn more about themselves, become more comfortable with themselves. I thought it was a very wonderfully written arc for each character. And then I also really enjoyed how each character was gray and had layers. No one was perfect. No one constantly made the right decision. I saw some reviews that they thought the main characters were really annoying, but I disagree. I just felt like they were realistic. Like, no one is perfect. None of us make the right decisions constantly. We all get wrapped up irrationally in certain things, and I really enjoyed that each character had their moments of being unhinged or irrational or selfish, and none of those bad qualities made them unlikable to me. It just made them realistic and understandable, and you can also see why they chose to do what they did, even if you disagree with it. So overall, I really did like the character depth and complexity, how queerhood and the issues around it were handled. I thought it was very beautifully written, and in general, I am very happy I picked this up. However, all the parts I thought I would like, I didn't care for, and then the parts I thought I wouldn't care for, I loved. So that was really interesting to see. I definitely would recommend this book. However, I would just say that I don't feel like the blurb does the book justice. This definitely is more a character-driven story, and you're watching the characters grow and struggle rather than it being like a mystery like whodunit kind of situation. Shara is missing for at least the first half, if not the first 60-70% of the book. So it is a mystery to find her, but it's not the like main point of the book, if that makes sense. Like, the book doesn't end when she gets found. And then I don't think this is a spoiler necessarily, because I read through the reviews and people were talking about it, but I didn't know this was going to happen, and to me it feels like it could be a spoiler, so I'm gonna put spoiler warnings, but it's very mild, I guess we could say. So if you want to go into this book blind, I would say just skip over this part, but if you don't really care or if you have read it, you can watch this. It's not that big, but I just want to put it out there that this might be a spoiler for some people. But I was not expecting this to be a romance, like, at all. I thought, like I said originally, the cover looked like a romance, but the blurb made it seem just like a mystery thriller type of book, and I was not expecting any kind of romance in this book. But there was a ton. Almost all of the side characters had their own little sub-romance plots. The main character, what is her name? Chloe. The main character, Chloe, also has her own romance plot, which was surprising, and it's academic rivals to lovers. So that was really interesting. I was not expecting that, and this isn't really a spoiler because, like, if you know it's academic rivals, it's the romances with Shara. I was not expecting that at all, but I did enjoy it quite a bit. I think they're kind of a weird couple, but it does work somehow. Like, it seemed like it was one of those relationships where it was like, I had a crush on you, but you're my rival, so I just fueled that, like, crush emotions into our rivalhood kind of situation, which was fine. I didn't care for it. But overall, it was a cute little story in terms of their relationship. I don't have an issue with the fact that they got together at the end. It just, again, was very shocking. Was not expecting it, but I mean, there you go. Academic to rivals LGBT book if you feel like reading it. So yeah, overall I did enjoy it, and it was really fun to read about. Like I said a million times by now, I feel like this book handled being queer very well. Next, I will be picking up She Drives Me Crazy. I believe, if my memory serves me correctly, that is the sports romance between the cheerleader and the basketball player. I will probably be starting it today, if not today, tomorrow. I'm so excited for that one. I am so tired today. This weekend has been absolutely exhausting, so I just need some fluff to get me through the day until bedtime. So happy Pride Month. I will see you when I have something interesting to say or when I have finished She Drives Me Crazy. Ugh, that was violent. I am back. I was not intending on making this video today, but I still had everything set up, so I thought, why not? But I finished She Drives Me Crazy. Overall, it was a 3 out of 5 stars. It was cute. I liked it, but it definitely wasn't my favorite rom-com that I've ever read. And to be perfectly honest, the main reason for that was because I found the main character, Scotty, to be kind of annoying. So the entire book is her dealing with her heartbreak, which is fine and everything. And you know, she is 17, so she doesn't make the smartest of choices, but I just overall found her to be a bit too sappy, and it like was a little bit annoying, especially in the first half of the book, which again, like, I get it. She's going through heartbreak. It makes sense. I'm not saying that that's necessarily a bad thing. I just personally didn't feel like reading about it, so it's on me, but it is what it is, you know? That being said, one of the side characters, Hani, completely made up for Scotty's annoyingness because she is so cute. She is the absolute weirdest character in the entire world, but I love her. I just love how wholesome she is. I love how she's so open and honest and just cute. I love her. I love her so much. And I'm gonna say she's my favorite character in this story. She's so cute. I love her. I wish there was more of her. She is sunshine in a person. She's so cute and weird, but we love her. Overall, I feel like the perfect descriptor for this book would be wholesome winter vibes, because that's basically how it felt. Despite the heartbreak and everything going on, you know, it's just two gay girls, two gay teenage girls falling in love, and it's very cute, it's very sweet, it's very wholesome. You know, this is YA, there's nothing spicy or anything, so it was just very cute. There were, at the end of the book, a couple of tropes that I didn't really like. I'm not going to go into too much because I don't want to spoil anything, but let's just say it's kind of like the everybody claps trope, and I really did not like that, but it wasn't the worst. For this book, it did actually make a lot of sense. So even though I hate that trope, I didn't necessarily hate it for this book, or it didn't annoy me because it makes sense. So that was one really fun thing, actually. It was a trope that I 100% of the time hated, except with this one, so that was fun. And then the other thing that kind of took me by surprise is there is a ton of underage drinking in this book, which I was always like a rule follower, so to this very day I don't even really know how underage drinkers get alcohol, like how does that actually work. So seeing the mass amounts of parties that these kids are holding and just having like all types of alcohol is like insane. But yeah, overall it was really fun. It was especially fun reading it in Pride Month with all the little rainbows and everything out, and it was a very cute, wholesome story. And although it's not my favorite, I'm happy that I finally got to it and read it, and it was just very cute, and I would definitely recommend it if you are looking for a kind of sappy, kind of wholesome romance about just two gay girls. So that means we're moving on to our third book for Pride Month, and this one is the one I spoke about earlier called Count Your Lucky Stars. I'm very excited for this one. I believe this one is the one with the wedding planner, and I don't know if I said this, but I love books with wedding planners. I don't know why, but every time I've read a book about a wedding or a wedding planner, like I just kind of get obsessed with it. Like even if I don't like the story, I just really enjoy those parts. You know, I think weddings are fascinating events, and wedding planners are fascinating people because they have so many weird little tricks and stuff, and I love the idea of having a job where you plan people's like biggest parties and you're at the party and you're basically invisible unless something goes wrong, and then you have like this really weird trick to solve it that literally no one except a wedding planner would think about. Does that make sense? I don't know. But I'm excited. We're on book 3 out of 4. This is going great. I might start it today. If not, I'll start it Monday. Today's Friday. So we'll see. But I'm excited and I'm really enjoying all of these sapphic reads. It's very fun. So I will be back when I either have an update or when I have finished Count Your Lucky Stars. I have returned, finally, and I finished Count Your Lucky Stars. Unfortunately, I only ended up giving this one a 2.75. Or no, I did not. I gave it a 2.25. 2 felt a little bit too low, but anything 2.5 and up just felt too high, so that's why I ended up rating it the way I did. And the reason that I didn't like this book was because it was just one giant miscommunication trope. And I, just like most other people, don't enjoy miscommunication tropes that much. I do think it can be done well, however, most of the time it's not. It's kind of used as a cop-out, and literally this book would not exist if the characters just spoke to each other and communicated. So that's why I didn't like it, because it wasn't a well done thing, and really this book had no point existing anyway because they should have spoken way earlier. So that's how I felt. In terms of if the characters were likable or not, you know, I don't really feel any particular way about them. Don't like them, don't dislike them, they kind of just exist. And I think the fact that I hated the story just makes me feel indifferent about them even if they were to be likable. So overall, this was kind of just a bad read. And then there are some things I want to complain about, but it is spoilers, so skip ahead if you haven't read it and you want to or you care about. But at the end, 1, why didn't she just ask one of her neighbors to take her to go rent a car instead of going through this whole thing, stealing her ex-husband's car, blah blah blah? Like, why didn't she just go rent one? I feel like it would have been simple. As far as I'm aware, none of the stores were closed or anything, but That was stupid, but whatever. And then the other thing is, when she finally gets to the wedding, she spends like 10 minutes talking to Margot. And I get that was like their moment, and I get that there's a fucking worm, ew. Basically, side note, why there's a worm in my apartment is because we have peace lilies, and for some reason they have worms. I think apparently that's just like a thing with peace lilies. But yeah, we have peace lilies, 2 of them, very big, in our apartment, and they have worms in them, and we need to throw them out because they're really temperamental. We are not able to take care of them, and we're good at taking care of plants. We have this giant bird of paradise, and then we have a ton of like little plumerias. We have a hibiscus right over here. We have a ton of cacti. We have a one up there. I don't know what it's called. We named it Goldie because it's like a gold something. But yeah, we have a ton of plants. We know how to take care of plants, but for some reason the peace lilies, they just like don't want to survive in any conditions we give them. They're very temperamental. They have worms, so we need to throw them out because we're having a pest issue. So that's why there was a worm. But where was I? So when she gets to the wedding, I know it was supposed to be her and Margot having their time to shine and whatever, but the thing is, she's a wedding planner, so why didn't she go do her job? You know, I'm sure if she got there and she like told Margot like, hey, can we talk after the wedding? I need to go do my job. She would have been fine with it. Like, the wedding was supposed to start at 1. She got there after 1, and then she spent 10 minutes like having a moment with Margot. It just doesn't make sense. Like, go do your job. You know, this thing that's supposed to lead to a promotion if you do well, why don't you go do that and then talk to Margot after the wedding? I'm sure she'd understand. But yeah, I just didn't guess it. I felt that it was very stupid, and overall did not like the book. But that's okay because I have 4 books. 2 out of them I really enjoyed. It's only the 1 that I didn't like, and I have 1 more left, so this video could still be fun and happy. But yes, I will now be reading Hani and Ishu's Guide to Fake Dating. At this point, I already started it. I couldn't film for a while, so I'm actually about halfway through it right now. I will save my thoughts for the end of that, but I'm liking it so far. I think it's gonna be a cute story, so we will see. I will be back once I have finished that book. But yeah, I hope you guys are having fun with this little Pride Month video, and I know I am, because even though this book sucked, I'm a sucker for sapphic love stories, so this has been really fun. If I had more time and if I thought of this video earlier, I would have picked up Priory of the Orange Tree, because that's sapphic, but I'll make a reading vlog for that because I've been pushing it off since like November or early December last year. I was gifted it and I still haven't read it, and it's June, so I just finished Hani and Ishu's Guide to Fake Dating. When I say just finish, I mean I literally finished the audiobook a second ago, and I thought I'd just give my final thoughts and opinion so that this video can be wrapped up and I can post it in June and not be late. So what did I think of it? I thought it was good. I enjoyed it. I very much enjoy books that talk about, you know, real life issues, whether it's like issues that come with being queer, of being a certain nationality or ethnicity or religion, like whatever it is. And this book touched on all 3 of those. And I personally feel that the book handled it very well. So I enjoyed reading it for that reason. I put the speed on 2.5 by the end, so not going to lie, the end kind of got a little befuddled for me because I'm playing a game while listening to it, so I just kind of stopped paying attention for a little bit, but that's fine. It didn't really ruin my overall experience because by the time I started zoning out, I kind of knew what was going to happen anyway. I really enjoyed going on both of their journeys, like learning their struggles and just seeing how they dealt with them, and then watching their relationship grow as well. And yeah, overall I really did just enjoy it a lot. In terms of stars, I have not at all thought about it. I think I'm going to give it a 3 maybe a 3.5. Yeah, I'm going to give it a 3.5. You know, it definitely wasn't necessarily like an outstanding book that will be with me for the rest of time. However, I did enjoy it. I definitely would reread it. It was fun and it was light-hearted whilst also being serious, and it dealt with serious topics very well. And in general, I just really enjoyed it for that. And yeah, I don't really have much to say other than that. That being said though, this was very fun. I think I might make this kind of like a normal thing where I save a few sapphic reads for June during Pride Month. It feels more fun that way, more celebratory. Again, like what I said at the beginning of the video, you know, it's like reading winter books in winter, or Christmas books at Christmas, or Halloween books at Halloween. It just really helps you feel the atmosphere a lot more, and I definitely felt it with this. It was a really fun reading challenge. I would definitely recommend doing it. You don't have to pick the same books that I do, or that as many even, but it's very fun. Just kind of guessing to hear all of these stories during the month and everything. Like, I'm sure you get what I mean. So let me know if you have any sapphic reads that you want to pick up sometime soon, or if you would be interested in also doing little gay reads in the rainbow month. If you like me or my videos, I would really appreciate a like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like it. Thank you so much. Bye.